the Sundance was really a Plains Indian uh, uh, tradition, but it come from Idaho. Was that Utah?
Yes.
Weewoka? Eh, He brought it up this way into the northern plains. But the Crows themselves believe that they invented, they had come up with their own version about the same time. They had Sundances, but only one man would do the Sundance at that time. A man planning vengeance over the death of a relative at the hands of Sioux or Cheyenne would pledge to do the Sundance so he will have power to avenge the death of his friend, father, brother, whatever. And it said they were camped over here in the Bighorn Valley one time where a man built a lodge and was going to have a Sundance there. This was the first one, they said. And then they set up the lodge, going to start it the next day, but he predicted that an enemy warrior was going to come there to that lodge. So early the next morning they checked it. Sure enough, a warrior from some other tribe was asleep in there. Of course, they quickly dispatched him and had their Sundance there. So the Crow Sundance was really not a dance like the Shoshone. They danced beautifully. But the only one man would do the Sundance, the pledger. Of course, he had helpers, singers. And he would have his breast pierced and tied to a pole, or at that time they were dragging skulls, buffalo skulls,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be on their back. But the breast piercing has come later, copied after the Sioux system. But originally they used their backs and pull these heavy old dried buffalo skulls. The Crows had their sun dancing going pretty good until 1884 it was prohibited. They can't do that anymore, so they quit. Then, about 1900 beginning of World War II, the Crows, some of them would go to Fort Washington. They were doing their Sundance. After 1934, when Commissioner of Indian Affairs removed those prohibitions in connection with the so-called Indian Reorganization Act, they could do their ceremonial, so they were sundancing right away. I think they were hiding and doing it anyhow. So they took right off with their sundancing. And Crows would go there and watch the Shoshone Sundance. Then also the Rappos were having their own, theirs was different. Just a few of them kind of stand there. Same thing as the Cheyennes. The Arapaho, Cheyenne have the same type of Sundance. Then John Trehero himself would come here and had our first Sundance in this part of the reservation. At Crow Agency, well, spear sighting, lodge grass. So then we use the Shoshone Sundance ever since that time. And people like that. At first, just men dance. But later on, one woman, always doing something, got in there and fasted in there, which was all right. Then later on, other women go in there and fast. But then she started dancing. Other women started dancing. So she started the women Sundance. I don't know, they do that at Shoshone. Do they?
No.
No, they're still doing the old way. But the Crows, we added women's Sundance. There were quite a few there, remember?
Yeah, yes.